Hello. Uh, bit rusty, bit rusty. I'm waiting for the chat to pop up on the iPad, so as I can see, somebody's in here that's already Offspray bird. Offspray. Hello, buddy. First up, it says. First up, you're the first. You're the. I've got 14 people viewing, I think, at the moment. Um, I'm doing this stream specifically because it's Christmas-ish, 5 days. I mean, I'm still one of these people. I only put my little tree up about a week ago. Some people put their tree up now at the beginning of December, but I generally pick somewhere around the 12th to 15th. I think that's enough. Engaged captain, says Osprey Bird. Now, I've got this little thing that should, as soon as I allow it to open, should be able to see your chat. The amount of times I've spent trying to get this right. So we've got a chat box. So there's the chat box. And it's, it's saying I've got to input the chat. Or is it coming out? Okay, I got to input the stream chat. I can't do this until it's all gone wrong. Let's bring that down there until I've got it up and running. So also you'll notice there's a little camera at the bottom. Where is it? There. It's very complicated, this stream. That's the GoPro. I'm testing a live stream out on the GoPro, so that's currently behind me. You can see it's sort of positioned on the fire. It's very warm in here. It's very warm. I've been throwing logs on the fire like they're going out of fashion, and I think it's 29 degrees in here. So if I start melting, I'm probably going to open the windows. I think it's 3 degrees outside, so we're not even in the minus, and this thing's pumping out a lot of stuff. There's a little. This is where the chat should be, I think. With the, how about if I put that there? Oh, there's the chat. So let's hide that. So you should, in theory, be able to see. It is the bane of my existence being able to put chat up on OBS. Like, there's the chat. I can see it, but it's in the translucent section. So hold on a second. Let me see whether I can blend it in better. Normal. Now let's put the background in so you might be able to. Oh, what is that? See, I can't do any of this until it's up and running, and it looks like it's saying before you continue to YouTube, sign in. I have no idea what that is. That's annoying. If somebody out there, I know most of my viewers are probably over 60, but if somebody out there could point me into the right direction with a chat bot that people use. 2.5 years of looking and trying all these different third-party apps with OBS, I can't find one that works. So I have to read the comments out, which is slightly distracting because I have to look over there for the iPad, whereas if I could just see I've got a comment, I flash it up and then I can look at OBS on the screen and the comment. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's saying that to sign into. Let's just have a quick. Let's try and get it right before I really start. How about I change that now and go to the live stream, which I couldn't do before. Because it wasn't live. And copy and paste again and see whether that makes a difference. It's always a good 5 minutes of faffing around whenever I do a live stream. There we go. There's me. Oh no, please, I don't want to hear double audio. Thank you very much. URL. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time and see whether it's going to ask me to. Oh, hold on. What is it doing now? It's okay. I give up with that. I give up with it. It's not gonna do it. See, it says YouTube chat box. And then it says the URL of the stream. Ah, hold on. I'm rusty. It's the URL of the pop-out chat. It's so complicated, streaming. It really is. It's the URL of the pop-out chat. So let's go to YouTube Studio and go to the content, go to live, go to chat, pop the chat out. Pop out chat. URL for pop out chat is there. Right. Okay. Don't stream that. Right, here we go. We're going to try that again. Dush. Finally. There you go. That's what I was doing wrong. I was putting the URL of the stream. It's the URL of the chat that we need. So we don't need the... I was making... No, we don't need that. It's just going to complicate matters. So I'm going to just hide that a second. And then we are going to go along the bottom and bring... Oh, no, I'm clicking on the... Thank you. There we go. And then I'm going to make that smaller. No, can we make that... How about a shift and just want to... Takes up all the screen. And then it starts doing that. Okay. Oh, what's that? Oh. OBS, everybody. OBS. Okay. Well, it's going to be small. This isn't the best way of doing it. I'd probably leave it. It takes up all the screen, though. I'll tell you what. Let's just bring it down. It's probably going to be too small for people to read, but I don't want the whole screen just filled up with chat, if you know what I mean. It just doesn't look good either. Yeah, so hello chats, says Osprey Bird. And we've got Joyce Whiteman. Hello, Joyce. How are you, Joyce? Oh, I just noticed that when I lean in to see the iPad, I go out of focus. And also, Julie Ash is here. Hello, Julie Ash. How are you, Julie? Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas to everybody. Happy Christmas to everybody. Even though we're still 5 days away from Christmas, it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas-ish. So, what's everybody been enjoying watching this Christmas time? I'm going to try and engage in conversation for a few minutes before I suddenly throw you into the rather exciting Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's. Let me take these off. They're not needed. I knew that would happen. They're not needed. When it's like this, I don't really need to hear anything. So let's move that across. Move that across. Oh, there we go. Move that across. So I spilled my drink. So it's one of those great live streams where lots of things that you plan for like 4 hours. 4 hours of faffing around with electronics today I spent, which was a rather long time, but because of the setup and because of the limited space, it gets a bit complicated. So, but yes, hides the Christmas tree, says Julie Ash. Which, this Christmas tree? Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? The logo needs to be shown, right? Okay, so there's that. Is that right? Is that going to move that? Yes, it moves it. Where the hell can we put it? What about there? What about there? Is that better? Can you read the chat? Is it too small? It's a bit too small for me to read it on the screen. When I maximize it, it stretches it out. This is not the best way of having chat up, but it's just so other people have a reference point, you see. So if they come in and we're in mid-conversation, it's likely that the conversation's been instigated by the chat, so people can kind of catch up. There's a consistency to it, you see. But otherwise, it's a little bit of a faff. It's a little bit of a faff. Yeah, so what people been watching? I've enjoying World's End series, says Joyce. Joyce loves World's End. That's fantastic. Niche, a very niche program. Not everybody thinks it's fantastic. The views of that one have been a bit lackluster. And I don't know why. It's funny because I thought it would appeal more to the people who like Rooms, because I do feel that it's, even though it's slightly more politically charged, slightly less cozy, if you can call Rooms cozy. Sometimes it's cozy. And I guess there's a little bit of an adult subtext going through it, which daytime television couldn't quite delve into. It does get progressively more that kind of storyline. It's interesting where they go. It's obviously bringing up race. It's bringing up sexuality. It's bringing up feminism. There's a lot of that in there. I think the writer was definitely on the political sort of scale somewhere along the line, and was writing sort of above his station, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm watching it every single episode. I watch it with you guys, so I don't know where it's going. I'm only just assuming. I thought it would be good to do that instead of me watching it or having watched it before, which the majority of stuff I do have on my channel I've watched before, because sometimes I've gone in and I've upscaled some of the stuff. So I certainly don't want to start doing effects and restoring things if I haven't seen it first. But World's End, that's a new one on me. So I'm enjoying kind of watching it with everyone. Top chat. We don't want top chat. We want the full chat. Why isn't the full chat available? It's still faffing about. So it's there. Okay. That's it there. Joyce says, I like Rooms too. Good on you, Joyce. No, it's okay. It's okay now. Oh yeah, that's the, sorry, thank you, Julie. That's the Christmas tree. You're not going to get to see the lovely Elvis microphone. I'll probably ditch the chat at some point and then just pop it back up. In fact, how about we just get rid of it now? Because I think it's unsightly. If I just disappear it, and then when we need it up, I will put it up. But I will read everybody's comments out. I've enjoyed World's End. So Curtis Owen, a little late. Merry Christmas, everyone, says Curtis Owen. That's my good friend Curtis. Thank you, mate, for joining me. Didn't know whether you'd be able to make it or not. It's lovely that you have. Give Curtis a big round of applause. And if I had one of those buttons that did clap, then Curtis would get one right now. So would Julie, and so would everyone in this chat, actually. Osprey bird. Osprey bird. Do you bird watch, Osprey bird? Whereabouts in the UK or where in the world are you? Are you up in Scotland? I believe there's a lot of ospreys up in Scotland. Libratad, there's a name from the past. Bloody hell, how are you, buddy? Watching 24 again, Kiefer Sutherland. But it's good despite that. You're not a Kiefer fan. Libratad, it's good to have you. Good to have you back, mate. It's a name from the past. I'll always remember some of my long-time subscribers that have popped in and out over the years, and Libratad is one of them. I love 24. Always used to be the second season was my favourite because it just goes, excuse the pun, balls out with everything. Like every second season, there's always this, or every sequel. It just takes it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. It's a nuclear explosion, I believe, in that one. Can you give me like 1 minute? I just need to get a cloth because I spilled my drink and I want to get another drink. So just give me 1 minute and I will be right back. I hate dead air, but I would like another drink, as I spilled it, you see. So, made a bit of a mess. Sometimes my world is too narrow for my body and things on shelves and things like that. Sometimes living on a narrowboat, it's just too narrow, which is why I understand fully why some people, even though I think they're slightly mad, especially travelling on one, opt for a wide beam. I can't imagine losing half of the network because it's too narrow for a wide beam. But I can imagine having that much more space and being that much more free when you live on a wide beam. So, pluses and minuses. Do you like my fire cam? My fire cam. I like the fire cam. I use it just as to see whether or not I have to put another log on the fire. That's why I've got it. It's not just to show off that I got a multi-fuel stove, but it is nice to have a multi-fuel stove. As I said, in here at the moment is a bit too hot for my liking. I've opened one of the windows. It's about 28 degrees. And for some, that's comfortable, but I like it personally around 20, 22, something like that. Yeah. Julie Ash says she's going to go and get a glass of wine. Good on you, Julie. What kind of wine are you drinking? Are you drinking something that's specifically festive? Mulled wine, maybe? Or how about a muscat wine? Was that the thing? Muscat? A muscat, I think. What's everybody else drinking? I was drinking apple and ginger. That's my usual drink. Until it spilled. I normally put the drink up on the desk, but because the tree's there and the microphone's out and the audio converter and the remote controls and the keyboard and the cooling pad, I just got everything out, and it just makes it harder to put things there, because I thought, oh, if I knock it over up there, it's gonna do some damage to the electrical equipment, which is why I didn't see it when I bent down there, because it's not normally down there. So everything's got a place. Well, luckily, it just landed on a top of a plastic container, so my drink is there. Which is handy. It's very handy. Oh, sorry, bird. I should go get a glass of wine. Heineken. It's a shame you didn't say Pabst Blue Ribbon, because if you'd said Pabst Blue Ribbon, I could have swore and done the Dennis Hopper from Blue Velvet. Pabst Blue Ribbon. I think anyone who knows that film knows what comes next. Heineken. I've got a Cabernet of Sauvignon. Cabernet. I can never say that one. Cabernet Sauvignon. It's probably because I'm not really a wine drinker anymore. My dad was a wine drinker. He knew every wine. I swear he did. He knew every wine. Wherever he would go to a restaurant, he'd have like one glass. He was not he would only drink when it was a special occasion. He wouldn't even drink like a bottle of wine. He would have just a glass of wine. But yeah, right, there we go. There's that. I don't know why I put the headphones on for that. That's probably part of the reason why I spilled the drink. Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree. Chilean and untypically. Chilean red and untypically. Don't really drink wine, says Libratad. Don't really drink wine. If I was to drink wine, I'd probably drink a Merlot, which is quite a boring wine, isn't it? It's probably the easiest one to pronounce and say when you're at the bar, is I'll have a Merlot. There's that Muscat as well, which is a sweet dessert wine. It's just like sherry. You might as well just have a sherry. So, World's End seems to have been an interesting one. Keep watching. If you're a bit unsure and you sort of gave the first episode a go, I'd say give it at least 3 episodes. Give it at least 3 episodes. Yeah. I will stick by and say it's definitely worth watching. It's not. I've been watching a Apple Plus show called Pluribus, which is Vince Gilligan's follow-up to Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. And apart from last night's episode, which I did watch, episode 8, I think it is. There's one more left. Lots of people say it's very slow and boring, and there's a divide between people think it's either genius or people think it's like really slow and boring. Pluribus. I think it's probably the best thing on television at the moment. Last night's episode was a disappointment, I have to say. I've not been looking. People were saying it's too slow, blah blah blah, and we've hardly progressed in 7 episodes. Well, I think we did. I think we're getting to know the main character in a way that the director and the creator, the writer, wants you to get to know her. So you don't have an anti-hero straight away. She is an anti-hero, this character. She's very much an anti-hero. She's the epitome of an anti-hero, actually. And I think there was a bit of character build last night, ironically, with the main character. She's still playing this game to not ruin anything for you, really. But it was interesting. But I felt last night's episode was a bit of a filler for what's coming next week, no doubt. For what's coming next week. For the 7 episodes, I thought it has been a masterclass in building character. That's what I think. It's a masterclass in building character. And when you actually did get a little bit of Carol, she's called the main character. When you did get more character last night in episode 8 of Pluribus, I thought it was probably the one episode that I felt was missing something that the others had. So here's hoping that the final next week is going to be good. But that's what I've been watching. I watched some modern stuff. Especially with people like Vince Gilligan, who I have a lot of time for. A bit like David Chase, or Matthew Weiner, Mad Men, David Chase, The Sopranos. There's certain writers and directors out there that I will always stop what I'm doing and watch. Keeping Prosecco for Christmas Day, says Julie Ash. 4 for the price of 3. Miniatures. They're miniature champagne bottles. That's kind of cool. I like Tennant's Super Osprey Bird. Followed by a Carlsberg. I'm trying to read. I need my reading glasses. Saucer strength. Followed by a small sherry and something else that you're writing, perhaps. Netflix and in Latin. Yeah. How many tenants have you had tonight, Osprey Bird? And it wouldn't matter if you're celebrating Christmas a little bit earlier. Netflix. Could go on about that. Has anyone heard any more about that possible the buyout between Netflix and Warner Brothers? Has anybody heard any? To be honest, when events took a turn for the darkest last weekend, I tend to switch off from the news. You know, there's the stuff over in Bondi Beach, where I've spent many a Sydney day when I used to work over there on the cruise ships. Lovely place, Bondi Beach. When that happened, I switched off the news, but not before learning about the horrendous thing that happened to the director, Rob Reiner, and then obviously all this stuff with Netflix, Warner Brothers, and Paramount, and all that. And to be honest, I can't handle it. It's going to ruin my Christmas. So I just stopped watching the news, which is good. I tend to walk away when anything like that happens. It just seemed to be like every day there was something really bad and depressing. So I tend to stay away. And bought the box set of Monty Python in the 1080p. So I'm looking forward to watching a few episodes of Monty Python's Flying Circus, the television series, by the way, the television series, which I haven't ever watched from start to finish. Used to watch it like mad on UK Gold back in the day, but I treated myself to it. I saw a video on YouTube of Terry Gilliam being very impressed with how his animation had been restored. So I was after this box set called the Norwegian Collection, I think it is, for no apparent reason. But yeah, I'm going to get lost in some classic comedy. Julie asked, what did I do on the cruise ships? Well, Julie, I was a videographer on the cruise ships. I had one of the luckiest jobs on cruise ships for 10 years, and I was always had a video camera in my hand and filmed everything, from events on the ship to tours, land tours. So I had the best of both worlds, really. I got off the ship and I went on free tours because that was my job. So I filmed tours, and then by the end of the cruise, you would, if anyone's ever bought a cruise DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever, they're probably on a USB now. If you bought one of them on any of the Princess cruises, in all likelihood, I may have been your videographer. That's what I did for 10 years, Judy, 10 years. And I've got so many memories that they all blur into one. Most of them start in the crew bar about 8 o'clock at night. Most of them. That's why I don't drink alcohol anymore. Right, so Christmas. I racked my brains for something. I thought if I could find another one of those Sunday afternoon TV shows like John Halifax, because that was a stroke of luck. That's such a great series. Isn't John Halifax such a great series? It really, I mean, I post stuff sometimes. It's very much more kind of based in sentiment or based in a feel or an emotion or the camera work or the mise en scene, as they would say, of a set piece that has a true reflection, I think, of the past, while being, in actual fact, not that entertaining or poorly acted or directed. But John Halifax, Gentleman, an amazing series, fantastic actors through and through, just a great top cast. And it was one of those shows that I think caught the imagination of a lot of people that have never watched it at all or never even heard of it. And believe it or not, rang quite true with the younger audience as well. There was a higher percentage. I always look at the stats. That's interesting to me with this channel. I always look at the stats, and it was between the ages, I think, 31 and 40. It's one of the highest watched and clicked. That's an interesting age, because that's 10, 15 years younger than me. So if something like John Halifax is appealing to an age group of in their 30s and 40s, that's interesting to me. But yes, if you haven't seen it, do check out that. But I wanted to find a series that I could put on that was a bit like John Halifax, Gentleman. I didn't manage that, unfortunately. I didn't manage that. I do have a series, but it's a little bit too stuffy. I got to decide on whether I post it in the new year. It's a series. I mean, I'll put it out there now. It's a series called what's it called? Let me go. Oh, my wallpaper. No, it better not come up on the thing. I don't really want to show my wallpaper. Where is it? So, another Sunday afternoon series called The Fortunes of Nigel, 1974. Stars a rather famous person as well, who was in Brideshead Revisited, and I'm not talking about Jeremy Irons, the other one, and I'm trying to remember his name off the bat. Who's the guy in Brideshead Revisited that isn't Jeremy Irons? Because he's in it. I think this is his first BBC TV series, The Fortunes of Nigel. That actually was the following Sunday afternoon TV show to John Halifax Gentleman. I believe that they were sort of like one after the other. So it was they were very popular, these kind of Sunday evening shows, Sunday late afternoon, early evening shows. They were very fancy with their period costumes. And I believe that is, in particular, a very period piece. And I just didn't think it was. The first episode I watched, The Fortunes of Nigel. I've only watched one episode. I'll be posting it in the new year. Look forward to it in the new year. It's just I wanted something a little bit more special for Christmas. Ironically, I have gone with a period piece as well. So yes, expect The Fortunes of Nigel. And I've forgotten who the guy is. He was a heartthrob. Women loved him. I think he's still alive. It's not one of the Foxes, but 1974. The actor in that, so it's written by Sir Walter Scott. It's the story. Oh, thank you, Julie. Anthony Andrews, I just got it up as well. Anthony Andrews plays Nigel, and I believe Carl Hallman's in it as well, who you remember as the cheeky little rogue from Brushstrokes. But I think he's like 10, something like that. 3 episodes of that, I think, 5 episodes of The Fortune of Nigel. So it's a famous novel, and I'm not read it, by Sir Walter Scott. I just didn't think that it cut quite the mustard to have something for people to really get into for Christmas. So that is coming. Yes, Anthony Andrews as a young and dashingly handsome Anthony Andrews, isn't it? He was in Danger UXB, late 70s. I had a crush on him and Jeremy Irons. See, Julie? You see, I knew you would. You see? I mean, as a straight man, I can appreciate the male masculinity and the sort of, statuesque appeal of such handsome young men, and not sound not heterosexual. I'd be all over George Clooney like a cheap suit back in the day. Not so much now. George is lost it now. I think more George in Out of Sight. Out of Sight's a great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Can't think of what's George Clooney up to these days. I mean, he's sort of irrelevant now, isn't he? I think he does a lot for the humanitarian things and cancers and disabled children. I think that's what George Clooney does now. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I think his on-screen persona, his star power, has sort of petered a little bit, maybe. Sorry, George, if you're watching this, though. If you are watching it, what on earth are you doing watching a Major Dolby's Cat live stream? But yeah, so that's I can see Anthony Andrews being a little bit of a head turner back in the day. Lots of people in that. Carl Hallman, Alfred Lynch plays King James IV. There you go, Alfred Lynch. It's very historic heavy. That first episode's quite impenetrable, and for something that was on at like 5:20 on a Sunday, interesting. But it's yeah, it will be showed. I will be showing that on the channel coming early in January, no doubt. May even be there's going to be a week where I don't post much. I'm going to probably get to the end of World's End. I think there's 10 episodes of that. So 10 or 12. And then I'll make a decision whether it's the Fortunes of Nigeria. There is the first thing I'm posting on the first week of January is a double bill of rooms, and this is where I will draw the line. There will be no more rooms on my channel until the summer, where I might post 2 episodes, and then there'll be no more rooms on my channel until the December next year, where there'll be 2 more episodes. So every 6 months there'll be 2 new episodes of Rooms, and I just think it's nice because I think they're going to start playing them on. If anyone's watching from Talking Pictures, I love what those guys do, and I really don't want to upload every single episode. I could, because I have 120 episodes of Rooms, and I think there's only 55 that I've uploaded. So there's another 70 odd episodes out there, but I do not want to take it away from those guys, and I really hope that they broadcast it again on Talking Pictures TV. So I don't want to upload everything on YouTube. I just think it's not fair on them. I don't own the rights to them. I don't own the rights to any of the stuff I upload. It's just I also have to make a few decisions about what I can and what I can't upload on this channel. I've managed to stay this long, albeit I was removed once and I had to plead with the BBC to put me back. And I'm kind of worried a little bit about this series that I'm going to put on my channel in the next few days. Just simply because I think it may have been, not saying it was a high profile at the time, it's certainly got somebody who is high profile. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Let's go to the questions, if there are any questions. Libertad says, the best adaptation I saw was Bleak House. David Lean's Oliver Twist was quite... I love David Lean. Great Expectations is quite spooky as well. Didn't know Diana Dawes went that far back. I think that's Dawes. I think it's just renamed Diana Dawes to Diana Dots. I assume you mean Dawes, unless Diana Dots is a person. As the Undertaker's servant maid, don't think daughter. What year was Bleak House? How old was Diana Dawes? Dawes, and you've corrected. It's just come up on the thing. Corrected Dawes. How old was Diana Dawes in that then? So it was before her sex starlet roles of the 50s. So it's got to be what, late 40s, mid 40s? She must have been what, 13, 14 years old, something like that. I haven't seen Diana Dawes movie for a very long time. I love Diana Dawes. You'd think I'd remember that, but I don't remember her in that. That's interesting. It's So anyway, let's go to the next. So as you can see, the fire is still flickering. I'm not going to put another log on it just yet, but I do not want it to go down to the embers. I want to throw on a log that lasts for 3 hours, and it will just turn the vent off, and it should last me a good 4 or 5 hours tonight. It's calming down a bit now. I got a little temperature gauge on the chimney on the flue, and it was sort of past the middle where I like it. It was sort of veering to the red, which means she's gonna blow. I wish it went further down the boat. I've got a fan there and I've got a fan there, but by the time you get to where I sleep, it's actually quite cold. I don't feel the cold. I worry about the damp in a boat. So I've bought one of these new cylindrical heaters that plug into a plug. Plug into a plug? What kind of language is that? That'll plug into the wall, 12 volt or 240 volt. It's only 80 watts, I think, of heat. So basically, it's like a hot light bulb, but it's tubular. and that's just going to sit under the windows because I get a little bit of condensation in that part of the boat. This part, everything dries out, including me. But at the other end, it stays not unpleasantly cold. I think if it's 29 degrees in here, it's probably 20 in that room. So it is noticeable when the fire goes out, because in here it will stay warm. That 10 degrees won't drop for a few hours. It will gradually start dropping, but it drops quicker in that room. So I want a little bit of a heat thing going on there, and I also don't want to pay extortionate electric bill while I'm here. Or when I'm on the cut, using up all my power. So an 80-watt bulb is kind of what I'm looking at. She looked maybe 16, says Libratad. Right. So, to lull you all in, let's go to browser window. And oh, the chat looks better there, but then everything's changed with the camera. I had it set up. I knew it would do this. I had it all set up, but because something changed in the there we go. I'm just going to gradually get everything coming back. The person that you're seeing on the screen now isn't me. The person that you're seeing on the screen now is the writer of this special Christmas festive screening that's coming up. So I know that anyone can read that, but I will read it in a second. I'm trying to get my camera back. I could bet the GoPro works straight away. I bet that will work straight away. Oh no, it's not. It's being faffy. As I said, I had it all set up. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. I'm going to copy the Sony now, and then I'm going to go back to the browser window, and then I'm going to paste it in here. Paste, and then I'm just going to make it smaller again. Okay, boo. Right, so here we have the writer of this. Now, I wonder how many people will get it just by the name. She was called Winifred Margaret Jessie, was born Winifred Margaret Jessie. She is a lady called Frywind Tennyson Jessie Harwood. March 1888 to the 6th of August 1958. An English journalist, author, and criminologist. Gives you a little clue to the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day production they're putting on. She was the second of three daughters of Reverend Eustace Tennyson de Encourt. Oh my God. Vicar of St. Peter Kirkley, and his wife Edith Louisa James. Her parental grandmother was Amelia Tennyson. She was a journalist. I'll cut most of that out, but Jessie moved to London in 1911 and found work as a journalist. She wrote for the Daily Mail and the Times. Back then, the Daily Mail wasn't as shit. Excuse the swearing. After an accident in a pusher configuration aeroplane, Jessie lost the use of her right hand and used a prosthetic. Must have been a very early prosthetic. God knows what that looked like. She learned to type using her left hand alone and picked up her career. She was treated with morphia, I guess that's morphine, for pain relief, became dependent and was a patient of Armando Child to cope with the habit. She, for the rest of her life, suffered from periods of depression. I'm not surprised with the prosthetic technology that was around in turn of the century. So, bless her. I won't go on anything else, but definitely where it says criminologist. Does anyone out there like to hazard a guess? You now have the writer and you now have a theme. We'll play this game until I can milk every last drain out of everyone. I think you have the year 1974. If you if you want me to get... Oh, it says the stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. Is it behaving? Is it behaving? I can't tell. I hope so. Anyone like to hazard a guess? Any guess? Any guess? I was hoping I would have a few more of the I mean, I love whoever can make these streams. I really do. But I was hoping I'd have a few more regulars in here. I didn't post it on Discord, but then again, I'm not using Discord. But I did sort of give a good week's notice on this stream. So I was like, oh, I'm hoping people come in. I'm hoping people come in because it's the... Might be the first one for a while. Floaty Light, says Offspray Bird. Floaty Light. Is that the name of a show? I don't know. No, I'm flummoxed, says Julie Ash. Julie Ash is flummoxed. And are you doing that? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so we've got the writer. I tell you what, I will go to... just make sure it was 1974 that it was written. Yeah. Oh, or is it 1973? No, I think it's 74. I need definitely just double check it. And it was the three-letter company that produced it. Can't even speak it of the dead. 1973. Sorry, 1973. To check myself then. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it. I've had it a while. I haven't watched it. A Ripper Fable. That sounds good. Okay, let's give you one more clue before we look at a Christmas edition of the Radio Times from 1975. I'm proud of it. Let's see whether I can go to it without giving anything away. Yeah, here we go. So, in 2001, there was a film made of this series. And I'm not going to tell you what the film was because it will give away the plot. I don't want people to see the plot before they've even sort of started the series. If this isn't as well known as I think it was, then it needs to be something that you may not know anything about going into. You don't really want spoilers. It's like some of the synopsises that I write for the episodes. I think I copy and paste some from IMDb, and I think, spoiler alert. I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't read the description if I was a subscriber of Major Dobby's Car. I wouldn't read the synopsis. But it was a film version of this book. And TV show in 2001. It was a British crime film written and directed by the same director who made another brilliant, I haven't seen this film, but it didn't get very good reviews. He made another brilliant film, another brilliant crime film. It was called Intimate Relations, and the director was Philip Goodhue, British director. He tackled another true crime film with Another Life from 2001. You can look that up and you will likely get the synopsis, but I wouldn't recommend reading it because it's very close to the TV show. So if you want to be surprised with what the TV show is, I will eventually get around to telling you, but I won't go into details of the plot as such. But it was turned into a film in 2001. And the film starred Natasha Little, Nick Moran, Imelda Staunton. Didn't do very well. It didn't do very well, which is a shame because Intimate Relations is a wonderful film. Intimate Relations, Judy Walters, Rupert Graves. It's not set in 1950s England. It follows what starts out very amusing and darkly funny, ends extremely darkly. Intimate Relations. Same director. So he tried it again with this when he did this true crime film as a follow-up to Intimate Relations, but it wasn't as successful. I mean, Imelda Staunton's no Julie Walters. I mean, Julie Walters is, you know, in 1996, Julie Walters is kind of high up there on the list of great actresses and stuff. So that's a lot of highs. That's a lot of highs, Daniel Borisov. Hello, Daniel Borisov. Okay, so any clues? Anything? Anything? Is anything there? Anything? No. Good, because I'm gonna get round to it. Right. So here we have. It's a PDF. Okay, it's a PDF of. I originally I've ordered something specific for the channel. It's an archive of somebody's own personal archive of Radio Times magazines and TV Times magazines. A fairly, what do they call it? Concise collection as well that they've scanned in. Some of the Radio Times and the TV Times, it's all of the things that are scanned in. Sometimes it's just the listings for the TV shows. But what I intend on doing in the future is not going to IMDb and other sources to retrieve synopsises of TV shows, partly to do with the fact that I think they contain spoilers. Is to go back to the original listing. So I have something in the region of 700 of these magazines on DVD-ROM coming through, which I just, thanks to those lovely people who bought me a coffee. I thought, you know, I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, but those lovely people who give me, I had £35, and I thought, I'm just going to buy it. It was £40 DVD. But I thought it's perfect because people can read. Like, it would be lovely to put, when I put a new program out there, it would be really nice. Plus, it's also good as a resource to go through and look at the pictures because, you know, there are lots of pictures in these TV magazines. But anyway, I found this one online. But yeah, thanks to those people who bought me, you know who you are, who bought me a coffee. Really appreciated that. And I said I'd put it towards the channel. 100%. Anyone who does buy me a coffee just goes to the cost of getting hold of stuff and trying to make this as authentic and accurate as possible while I'm still able to do so because of the powers that be could pull me from YouTube tomorrow. So you're kind of taking a little bit of a chance. Kind of taking a little bit of chance. Joy has no idea. Have I stumped people with this? Have I? It's not. You're not going to get any clues from looking at this. But, you know, before I just quickly flick through this Radio Times from 1975, I just want to say it's the 20th of December, 1975. This Christmas, Yuletide felicitations, dear reader. I've enjoyed getting lost in 1975's December TV schedules, and will be trying to find time to sample plenty of the programs featured in the following pages. This is the Radio TV Times magazine. So is a mashup of the Radio Times and TV Times, both in design and in programming choices. Last year was a 7-day magazine, while this year I've managed to extend it to a whopping 10 days of festive 70s fun. Plus, bonus, Fanny Craddock. While there are always more things I wish were available for me to include, I think I've managed more variety this year, so plenty for everyone. If you enjoy this magazine, spread some joy and tell someone about it. Thanks to all those who've helped out with sourcing info, links and alerting me about extra shows on iPlayer. It's all enabled me to build up the Radio TV Times for Christmas 1975. So thank you, Hannah Cooper. This is readily available online. Hannah is obviously dedicated in correlating classic TV from schedules and things, and I think she's done a wonderful job. This is a free PDF. You can find it online if you just type in Christmas Radio TV Times 1975. So be sure to check it out, and well done, Hannah Cooper. I certainly didn't want to just, sort of go into this without reading off without reading off things. So we have letter to the editors. So on here we've got some of the letters that were originally included in both the TV Times and the Radio Times, which I think was wonderful. Porridge, upstairs, downstairs, Morecambe and Wise. Who'd have thought? Dinah Rigg, Christmas Day. Friends at Rainbow host their own Christmas party on Boxing Day. Good old Jeffrey. Is he still with us? Is Jeffrey still with us? Intimate Relations is on YouTube. I might watch it later. Julie Ash, do watch it later. It's a wonderful film. If you haven't seen it before, but be prepared, it does get quite dark. But Rupert Graves in it is hysterical. Julie Walters is as mad as a box of spanners. After a lovely Christmas in Rising Damp, Rigsby has visitors. Who remembers that episode? The goodies. So, but yes, go back to some of these. I haven't read all of this. I only sort of found it a couple of days ago when I was searching for an archive, and this was the only thing I found, which is why I spent a little bit of money getting. Thank you so much for the feature on Dennis Waterman, TV Times, November the 13th. I must disagree with Dennis when he says he only entertains people for 1 hour a week. I have only to think about him and John Thor, and I go all week at the knees. Anytime, says Beryl Brockies from Morden, Surrey. If Beryl Brockies is still with us today, I'd be very surprised. But apparently, yes. So she's got a little bit of a hot spot for the Sweeney. Who doesn't? Beryl, among millions of other people at the time. Are the scriptwriters of Emmerdale Farms stuck for ideas, or do farmers spend most of their time drinking tea? They seem to at Emmerdale, says Mrs. K. Bentley from Otley, West Yorkshire. West Yorkshire. I love the fact that there's a critic there from West Yorkshire criticising Emmerdale. She should know. She should know. So, yes, there are just a few. I mean, there's some great ones in there. Thank you again, Hannah Cooper. She's picked the best ones, I expect. So, here we go then. So, let's just look at a traditional schedule for Christmas Day, shall we? We're going to scoot past all the other days. We're going to get to the 25th and see what was happening in 1975 on the 25th of December. Freddie Mercury. Galileo, no, we won't do Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, BBC One. What are some of your memories of Christmas Day? I'm missing some of the chat here. I'm sorry if I've missed some chat. BBC One, The Happy Prince, a cartoon featuring the voices of Glynis Johns as the Swallow, Christopher Plummer as the Prince, Oscar Wilde's classic bittersweet story of a swallow winging its way south, which stays to rest upon the sorrowing statue of a once happy prince and stays behind to help. Top of the Pops. I'm glad it's introduced by those two people and not somebody else. We can handle Tony Blackburn and Noel Edmonds. Actually, Noel Edmonds. The Queen, good old Queen, 3 o'clock. I was always 3 o'clock. Around my house, my grandparents used to stand. My granddad definitely stood, took his hat off as well. Generally toast the whiskey. Bruce Forsyth, Generation Game, 5:50 to 6:55, starring Bruce Forsyth with Anthea Redfern. Was Anthea Redfern a hottie? I think she was, wasn't she? A bumper Christmas edition with country. A bumper Christmas edition with country music, joining Bruce and Anthea and a surprise guest for an hour of festive fun for all the family. Orchestra directed by Ronnie Hazelhurst. Now there's a name that's associated with a lot of BBC. And we come to prime time. So here we go. Some mothers do have them. Who was a fan? Who is a fan of Some Mothers Do Have Them? The Morecambe and Wise show. Not Christmas Without Morecambe and Wise. I guarantee that. That show there with special guest. Who's that? Dinah Rigg. So that show there probably garnered about 17 million people. 17 million people all tuned in. It was probably something like that. Maybe 20 million. Maybe 20 million. Christmas Day, 7:40. Or Christmas evening, 7:40. I mean, it does get you thinking about what we have today. I know we've got all the choice and, and all of that stuff. We've got, so much things, and it's harder to get the quality anymore. But BBC Two at 8:45, the evacuees. The evacuees Jack Rosenthal, classic. BBC Two, 1975. When war comes in 1939, school kids Danny and Neville have to leave for Blackpool. They are billeted on Mrs. Graham, but her well-intentioned strictness presents too strong a contrast with the Jewish home they've left behind in Manchester. See, that could be written today, because it's Jack Rosenthal. Maureen Lipman's in that. Who else we got in that? Don't know some of them names. I know Maureen Lipman. There's probably lots of faces in there, but I just don't know them. So, it's a shame that Hannah, even though it's a great job, Hannah, well done. I'm not dissing that. It's just a shame that we don't have the whole thing. However, that's not appropriate, really. I mean, 10:55, Christmas with Rutland Weekend Television from Britain's tiniest TV network. 5, an evening of mini spectacular programmes with Rutland's own favourite stars, including Eric Idle, Neil Innes, David Batley, Henry Wolfe, and Gwen Taylor, and singing guest artist George Harrison. It's Boxing Day. And 8 o'clock on Thames Television on ITV would have been a big Christmas special. Was Love Thy Neighbour. The Booth household is busy preparing for Christmas. The Booth household, that is, minus Eddie, who is otherwise engaged with Christmas spirit, which means Joan must cope alone. Oh, there he is. Crossroads. Soaps at Christmas, always been popular, haven't they? Boxing Day. Russell Harty goes downstairs. Find out the truth about 165 Eaton Place and these people downstairs or upstairs. See what you think of Mrs. Bridges' mince pies. Hear what Hudson really thinks of Rose, Frederick and Ruby. And if you've ever wondered what Ruby was really like, listen in to some of the secrets of that superior scullery. Russell Harty. Somebody has actually on YouTube been uploading all the Russell Harty interviews. And they were really hard to get hold of. I tried to get them over the years because I have a few Aspel. You don't upload Parkinson unless you want your channel deleted immediately. But Aspel seemed to be a few good ones, including obviously Dear Old Jan, which was the first one I uploaded, and it seemed to go down well, and I sourced some other episodes. But now Russell Harty is on YouTube. Les Dawson's Christmas Box. Classic Les Dawson. Has that changed much? Gordon's? Has that changed much? Is it still in that kind of bottle? I think it's still in that kind of bottle, isn't it? 5:50. Mr. Magoo, the old grey whistle test. My dad used to talk about that all the time. Loved that. Doctor Who, Genesis of the Daleks. Wow. Tom Baker, 1975. Arguably the most successful and well-loved Doctor Who of all time, Tom Baker. Complete adventure in one programme. Oh, that's different for the BBC, because they used to like chopping it up to 25-minute episodes, didn't they? The Time Lords have a mission for the Doctor. Doctor? He finds himself stranded on Skaro, the planet of the Daleks, where a wall of attrition. The planet of the Daleks, where a war of attrition is reaching its bitter final stages. Davros, played by Michael Wisher. Scare me as a kid, Davros. The original Davros. Shirley Bassey. What Christmas wouldn't be complete without Shirley Bassey on the telly? I mean, didn't she appear with Morecambe and Wise at one point? She appeared with everyone. Des O'Connor, I know she did. Holiday Star Trek. People in elevated positions tend to look down on others less favourably placed with the situation. Comforting Captain Kirk in Strato City is more serious than snobbery. Holiday Star Trek. Is it just Star Trek? Is that just Star Trek, or is that? I don't know what that is. Holiday Star Trek. Was that the way it was listed originally? Do you think Hollywood Star Trek? Holiday Star Trek. Sorry, Holiday Star Trek. The Cloud Minders. So it's just an episode of Star Trek. So just say Star Trek, The Cloud, but Holiday Star Trek. I mean, we know it's a holiday because we're all on holiday watching Star Trek at 11:45 a.m. in the morning. Christmas week's birthdays. Sharing Noel Gordon's festive birth date is zany Kenny Everett. Dear old Kenny Everett, whose voice is heard every week in celebrity squares. He's 31. Not anymore. Earlier in the week, on Saturday the 20th, rising young actress Jenny Agutter is 23. So 23 in 1975. So work that out and you'll have Jenny Agutter's age. Jenny Agutter, what a babe. Peggy Ashcroft is 68 on Monday. And on Tuesday, Maurice Denham is 66. Noel Dyson, 59. Norman Rossington is 47 on Christmas Eve. And Jill Bennett is 44 on Saturday the 27th. Actress, novelist Irene Handel is 74. When was Irene Handel ever young? She was 74 in 75. Bless her. I'd have a problem picking her out below the age of 50. I know she was in I think she's in a load of like Ealing comedies, but she always played old ladies, Irene Handel, because she was an older lady. There we go. Hello, old school fool. Hello, mate. Thanks for joining. I was saying it would be lovely to see some names that I've missed so dearly doing these streams. I've just been prattling on with this copy of the Radio Times, like to the dismay of most people watching, probably. But again, go online and scan through this. There's loads of pictures. I'm missing loads of stuff out. It's a great caricature of Bruce Forsyth. Oh, look at this. What's that? Baby sham. Tonight, a sparkling baby sham. Can you still get baby sham? Can you still get baby sham? I don't know. Can you still get baby sham? I think you probably could. I think it's probably not as nice anymore. It's probably never nice, was it? Let's face it. My nan used to have the glasses, and I've kept some of the glasses myself. I wouldn't put them on this boat because I have a habit of things like smashing onto the floor. Hence earlier when I dropped this drink, but this is a plastic tumbler, despite the fact that it looks like a glass. Thanks to what's that kitchen company in the high street? They got really good quality stuff. What's it called? It's in Market Harborough. I've forgotten the name of it. I bought a steamer from them. And I saw these glasses. They were like £5 each, and I thought they look really good. Look like proper tumbler. So I forgot the name of the shop. It's a kitchen shop. Old School 4 is aware that Trek was a cartoon, says Curtis. Old School 4's done on check out the episode with the Star Trek. Check out all of his stuff every time. Every time he's in here, I'll always promote him because he's an extremely talented chap. Love that curry one you did. Oh, they're talking. I love it when they talk amongst themselves. Love that. Right, so I guess we can. I guess we can go back to who has had a guess. Oh no. Let's go to this segment without. I'm going to start this segment by saying. A couple of weeks ago, I was on TikTok and I was scrolling the feed. Scrolling, as you do, thinking, why has my life come to this? What is there to live for? I can't believe what people are doing nowadays for entertainment. Usual sort of thoughts when you're scrolling social media. And, oh, look at that person. Oh, my God. Green hair, rainbow flag. Scrolling, as you do. Anyway, I was in amongst the bilge that is on social media. I suddenly was faced with Reg and Stan. Is it Reg? Reg and Stan? It is Reg and Stan, isn't it? On the buses. Somebody had it's not original, is it? Because everyone's using AI nowadays. Everyone, every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there is using AI. But anyway, it was done really well, and they were breakdancing. So you have the two main actors from On the Buses, and they were breakdancing to this modern rap, probably drill music. I don't know what it was. Old school Phil might know. It was something. It was a song. It's probably Top of the Pops. Well, that's irrelevant now. Anyway, number one in the charts. That's irrelevant. The charts is irrelevant. Number one download on Skype. Whatever. What's that other site called where you get music? Spotify. It's probably the number one It's probably the number one rap drill artist on Spotify 2024. Who gives a toss? Either way, had two actors that were being AI'd by somebody, considerably a lot younger, probably, who knows how to do all the AI stuff. And I thought, my God, they've even dripped down to the on the buses using AI, and it stayed in my head. It stayed in my head. A couple of weeks ago, this was, and I'd say I'd already dabbled in AI a few weeks before. I'd given way, and I took a photograph of myself and my father when we were on a boat when I was very young. I was like 8 or 9 years old, and we were on in and around the Norfolk Broads, and I entered it into this AI thing, and it brought it to life. The first one, actually, the emotion I felt, it went something like this: input, upload. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. That's really good. Regenerate. Oh, push it again. Waited about a minute. It came back with another variety of things happening in this photograph. And my initial hesitation, I was getting anxious, and it came up, and it played, and I went, oh, well, my dad would never have done that, or he would never have moved like that, or he would have never have turned his head like that. I'll do it again. Third one came up, and I was like, that's stupid. It changed the boat to a bigger, like it changed everything around, and I was like, what's the point of that? Like it went to a generally, like, I'm feeling like, wow, my dad's back with me again in a photo, to what a pile of shit after about 3 goes. Now, that's saying something about the process of how these apps use AI. I think it's you could then prompt it. You would type something. You would type, have the birds in the sky swoop down, steal the ice cream from my mother's fingers, the seagull to eat and fly away with her, handbag. Whatever the hell it would be. And I think then you can kind of create something. But either way, I succumbed to AI, and I did this. And the first time I used it, I was blown away, but immediately followed with, I think it's that Bill Bailey thing about craving disappointment. The more you kept pushing it, the more it just kept spewing out things that were rubbish. So it had been in the back of my head. To cut a long story short, I've made a video. It's 2.5 minutes long. It's made up entirely of photoshopped Getty images. Stills. So none of this was video. This is made up of stills, and there must be, I'd say, 35 stills that make up this 2.5 minute video. And I thought I'd go the full whack. I'll use an AI song generator. And I'll also input what I've come to learn are prompts, and I did a very short, watched a tutorial online for about an hour about how you prompt AI. I can't tell you the amount of times I had to to redo a prompt by saying, have their expression stay the same, but have this happen. Have their expressions on their face stay the same, but have this happen. Because as soon as AI gets around the face, it can, from an image, if you could input an image of AI, is what I've learned. Make sure it's a front-facing image. If it's a side-facing image, it's going to have problems, especially if you tell it to breakdance or what I was doing, and it's going to get it wrong. It's not that advanced. I don't care what they're saying. Now, I'm not putting AI down at the moment because, you know, I'm just not a big fan of AI. That being said, I wanted to do a project that was AI, television based, with stars of yesterday, and I picked roughly the 70s, although there are a few 80s reference in here. Bear this in mind. The song has been prompted with lyrics based on me hating AI. So I put in certain phrases about hating AI and about how it can't recreate the past. So suddenly there's a pop song with these lyrics in it and a woman singing it as though in the style of a sort of 80s synth pop song thing. So anyway, I'm going to play it now. So enjoy my AI tribute. It took me about 18 hours. It took me 18 hours to do this video. And considering AI is supposed to be, it's so easy. You could just type in like jump up or turn left, or if you quality control all the stuff at the end, you may have to do certain things or ask it to do certain things 10, 15 times until you get what you want. So it's all about quality control. I hope that this is up to my standards in quality. Where is my headphones? I've got to make sure the level's right. Right. So here we go. This is the AI tribute.
Neon lights on the tinsel tree. A telly glow is just you and me. Noel Edmonds more can be wise. Ghosts of laughter in glittering skies. Electric snowflakes falling down. AI can't fake this magic town. The way it feels, the way it was. A world of stars and Santa Claus. Cliff in a jumper, sailor's grin. The telly's warm, let the night begin. A Polaroid moment, frozen in time. But circuits and codes can't write the rhyme. Ooh la la, the whispers fade. Can't program the joy we made. Electric snowflakes falling down. AI can't fake this magic town. The way it feels, the way it was. A world of stars and Santa Claus. Santa Claus. No algorithm, no clever ploy can recreate that human joy. Electric snowflakes falling down. AI can't fake this magic town. The way it feels, the way it was. A world of stars and Santa Claus. And Santa
Right, there we go. Every single one of those was an image. Just bear that in mind and think that even though I'm generally somebody that's anti-AI, I was genuinely pleased with the results that generated. But there is a but. There is a but. The lyrics still remain true to me about how it generates authenticity. It's not quite there yet for me, put it that way. But it's still. I was still impressed with using it, and I'm glad I'm not using it anymore. If that makes any sense. After the initial 18 hours of production time that took, and doing the AI and inputting the images and doing 4 or 5 tries of stuff, sometimes 10, 11, and reiterating, no, don't have them turn. Have them either wave at the camera, looking directly at the camera. Do not change their expressions, because as soon as that happens, you lose authenticity. So if you don't quality control AI, the human eye still can do it better. It can still decide whether that should go there or that should go there. For me, it's like the editing process is you have to like put it in the right place as well. And I graded it all in black and white. Some of those photos were in color, but I wanted it to be in black and white just so as I could pull focus on color with Barbara Windsor at the end in the Christmas costume, but also to keep it, in the past, the aesthetics of black and white. So I hope you've enjoyed that. That was my little gift to everyone for Christmas, and I hope that it did bring a little bit of nostalgia, and I hope you go and check out some of those things again, and I hope when you do, you'll go back to the original programs and say, oh, I might watch that. I fancy watching some mothers do have them, something like that. Julie Ash says, oh, I'm loving the video. Thank you, Julie. Pleasure. I did it for myself as much as I did it for everyone here. So, wow, it's brilliant. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you very much. Old School Full, love it. Great job. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate, your input's always great. Video Diva 4548. Hello, everyone. Or hi, everyone. Hello, Video Diva. Lovely to have you here. How are you? I love that video. Made me a bit emotional. Fantastic. I'm glad that it did. I'm glad that it's AI can have that kind of sentimental, and it's very sentimental, but it's Christmas. If you can't be sentimental at Christmas, when can you be? It's all Christmas is for me is about reflecting on past memories, because I don't want to sound like negative, but it is just me for Christmas now. So it's nice to be able to have that, put that energy and that creativity into something that's certainly made up of lovely memories of my past and growing up in the 80s and stuff. So, and Jan Francis, it was lovely to AI Jan Francis. She's in there 3 times. I personally really like the Eiffel Tower with her and Paul Nicholas in the front of the Eiffel Tower on a Polaroid. And if anyone remembers my old streams where Jan used to be in a frame, that image is in there, because that's the image that I got as she signed an autograph on a photo. It wasn't to me. It was I bought it on eBay, so I scanned that in and brought that to life. Brilliant. Old School Full. Lovely seeing all the stars. So happy. Thank you and Merry Christmas all. Kate Griffiths, thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kate, for watching, and I appreciate that. What I may do in the new year is upload that separately to the YouTube channel. Not for a couple of weeks, but maybe something in the new year. Start the new year off, and I don't know. Maybe I just don't want the channel to be associated with AI. I know that sounds really stupid, but when you're this kind of passionate about and concerned about where the future's going with AI, I just don't want to be seen to be promoting it in some way, shape, or form. I think where it will exist in this stream, and will probably just exist there. So I'm glad. So many lovely comments. Thank you. I'm glad it was enjoyable for everyone. Right. So what am I putting on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day? So 4 episodes eked out. So we've already had a few well, we haven't had many guesses. I will let's go over what we've learned. So what have we learned? What have we learned? So this is the writer. Video Diva, you might get this now. Video Diva's pretty hot on knowledge. So it's a 1973 production, and it's written by this person, Frynwyd Tennyson Jesse Harwood, English journalist, author, and, big clue, criminologist. An interesting writer, by the sounds of it. He became a bit obsessed with a real-life crime story that happened in 1922, I think. Later on, they made a film, 2001 film of the story. So it's a true story. It was adapted for television by this lady. And no, she didn't. She adapted it. She wrote the story for television, and it was done as a film in 2001. So that's all we have so far, really. I'm not giving that much away. What I'm about to do is give away something. Let's see whether it's going to behave. And it's not Carl McLaughlin, but this actress has worked with David Lynch, and she is an iconic British actress. That is a still from the 1984 movie Dune, originally directed by Alan Smithy, of all people, which was a pseudonym David Lynch adopted after the studios screwed with him over the film, and he wanted his name removed. Over the years, I think David Lynch gradually forgave the studio and put his name back on Dune, and so he should, because there are elements of Dune that is pure David Lynch nightmarish fuel. There's a lot of Eraserhead that is in Dune, if you've seen Eraserhead. I'm not here to talk about David Lynch, even though, you know, I could do a 4-hour stream on David Lynch. But that actress there, who's that actress there who starred alongside I'm trying to remember I know his real name, but I'm trying to remember his name. Is he a prince? I've not watched the recent Dune films. But Carl McLaughlin. It's not Carl McLaughlin. He's not in this. It's a shame, because if he was, I'd be pretty good. A bit before McLaughlin's time, what I'm about to. Somebody drastically now do a search online trying to work out her name is Francesca Annis. Pretty big right. That's all you're getting for the minute. 1973 true story, crime. If you're into the crime, then you will be into this series. There's the writer. Sometimes when the chat doesn't work, I sometimes think I'm just talking to myself, because it could cut off. Oh my God, I've got that. Who said that? I've got that. Now I've gone onto live chat. I am so sorry for everyone that I've missed. If there are people in here, I've had it on top chat. I want somebody out there. Please help me. Please help me. 2 years, 3 years I've been trying streams. Get me a really good chat app, because this is shite. It's the only thing that I can think that works, and I apologise. So I've only had it on live, on top chat. So all the stuff that you can barely see anyway, because it's in a terrible little box on the screen. It's not all the chat. So I'm really apologise for my. I just need a better way of being able to display people's questions or their interactions. So apologies there. Freaking YouTube. Anyway. Somebody's probably been screaming out what I'm going to play on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. You have the main actress, Oh, Sheriff Brackett has the winning answer. A pin to see the Peep Show. It's a one of those corporation productions. As I said with this one, I'm a little bit worried. I have watched the first episode, and it is fantastic. And I know the story, and it sounds perfect. It sounds perfect. Yes, Ray. Hello, Ray. Sorry, mate. Why are you never considered top chat? If Pure Blood in here, Ray. Sorry, mate. It's been on the stupid iPad and. Oh, apologies. Good to have you here, mate. Good to have you here. I can see you now, yes, and so can everybody else. So can everybody else. If I was to move this up, oh, that's the wrong bit. Oh, as I said, I'm going to give up with this chat on the screen. I'm just going to give up with it because it's been fooling people anyway. What a pointless thing. Chat box, goodbye, chat box. YouTube chat. Get rid of that. Let's go back to the full screen. Yeah, if somebody could point me to a good app that has the ability to to be able to see your questions come up on the screen instead of looking at the iPad and selecting what I can see and what I can't see. Rayski says Old School Fool. Alan Hargreaves, how are you, mate? Says, sorry, I'm late. I was watching some BBC about Derek. Well, Derek Griffiths is always worth catching, mate. Derek, how are you? Nice to have you on board. Look at the names in here now. Hopefully you've been. Oh, some of you have been here from the start. I might not have known because it didn't come up with the chat. So apologies there. So yeah, I don't have any clips of. Oh, Video Diva says, yeah, I think it's a pin to see a Peep Show. I hope it is. Wanted to see that. It is Video Diva. It is. John Duttine, I believe, stars in that. So there is a little bit of I'm a bit of a fan of John's. I have been ever since the series, the comedy that I uploaded. It's quite rare, and I love that. What's it called? I haven't been back to that for about 2 years. I've got Happy Families in my head. That actually got my channel deleted. Lame Ducks with Lorraine Chase. Lame Ducks Series 1 and Series 2 on my channel. Check it out. I love John anyway. I love his stuff. I love the stuff that he did with British playwright, sex and nudity. British playwright. I've got my brain's gone blank. Not Ken Russell. The TV. What's it called? Dennis Potter. John Duttine worked with Dennis Potter on several things. I think he's in Lipstick on Your Collar as well, that's Dennis Potter. He's in Rooms with Jan. He's in Rooms. He's in several films as well, British films. But he's in that. He's great in that. The style of this drama, A Pin to See the Peep Show, the style is beautiful. They use photographs in every episode, from what I've seen, and still photographs. So the cinematography is pretty up there. I think the costume looks amazing, and I think the story is quite. It deals with crime, yes. There actually part 2 is Christmas Day, all set at Christmas Day, but it's set in I think it's set in 1914 or something like that. So it has an element of Christmas in it, but I think it's going to prove quite popular with people on the channel. I don't think it's as common or sought after, or probably even known about. There will be a few comments that'll be like, I haven't seen this since it was broadcast in 1973. This is great, blah, blah, blah. But I expect a lot of people will be going to it like I was, completely unaware that it ever existed. Francesca Amis, sorry. Somebody that I've know very little about, other than other than June. But I know a little bit. I know what David Lynch thought of her. Said that she was she was a fantastic actress, lovely to work with. Working with somebody, he praised her because of her stage. She was more. I guess she's probably known more for stage stuff. She was big. I don't think she's ever really become a big film star. She was more stage and small screen, I believe. I think she is in, as I said, she's in June, which was a huge spectacle cinema film. So I know she veered into that area, and she's still with us. I think she's in her 80s now. Did you see that old entertainer died recently? Stanley Baxter. Stanley Baxter? I thought he died ages ago, Ray. I thought he may have died ages. This sounds like somebody that would died ages ago. Yeah, no, he died ages ago. Did you see that an old entertainer died recently? Stanley Baxter. I thought he died ages ago. Maybe not. Hello, my dear elder brother. I've been watching Kung Fu films, so I call everyone brother now. Brother. Love Dutty. We've had a deleted comment. Offspray bird. I wonder what you said. I'm a bit slow with comments. Again, a better way of being able to read these things. Come up and I'll be able to answer them straight away instead of straining my eyes with an iPad that's at the other side of the room. John Duttine did a few dramas. Is it Duttine or... Yes, Duttine, isn't it? Did a few dramas in the 70s. Psych Warriors as part of Play for Today. Thank you, Video Diva, for providing that information. Also, Old School says he's great in To Serve Them All Our Days. That sounds great. That sounds good. That sounds like a good series. Julia Ash says he was 99. Yes, of course, Day of the Triffids, Old School Full. That's where I would have seen him as a kid. BBC production of Day of the Triffids from 1981. That's where I would have seen him. So I was like 6 when I sort of watched that, and that scared the crap out of me. He's great in that. Yes, he's great in that. So Stanley Baxter was 99, according to Julia Ash. Died last week, weeks away from 100. Living to 100 isn't as important as it was when old Queenie Elizabeth was alive. I wouldn't want to get anything from Prince Dickhead. That's just my opinion. But I'm sure that Stanley Baxter would have liked to have got to 100. I mean, he would have liked to have got to, would like to be alive. I'm sure of it. But what a good innings. What a good innings. But yeah, the whole thought of like telegram from the Queen or a telegram from the King. Nah, all that's gone. My connection to the royal family when Diana was killed kind of went then. A little bit came back with William and Kate when they were engaged, and I was more interested in what everyone else could have, like the Queen. Obviously, when she went, it was like that's the end. That's the end now. Just live in the past and just look at Princess Di videos. That's one of my biggest memories. Day of the Triffids. Terrifying. It was, Alan. It was. It genuinely was terrifying. If anyone hasn't seen the BBC adaptation of John Wyndham's classic Day of the Triffids from 1981, I think. Or was it 82? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 81. Watch the Step 2 episode when they get a kick out of Kung Fu. Classic, Ray. Did you see them breakdancing in my AI tribute? Wasn't that? That was a bit of a weak one, actually. I just put it in there because I thought it was quite funny just to see Harold Steptoe do a windmill. Stanley Baxter. I will. Yeah, I don't know. Stanley Baxter was Welsh, wasn't he? He was a Welshman. Stanley Baxter. Zulu. This is Stanley Baxter, yeah? Zulu. Stanley Baker. I'm thinking of Stanley Baker, aren't I? Stanley Baker. Stanley Baxter, Stanley Baker. Remind me, who's in Zulu? Stanley Baker, yeah? Big film actor. Died very young. I'm sure Stanley Baker's dead. Stanley. I don't know. Let me look him up. Let me see whether I'll recognise him when I see him. I'm thinking it's Stanley Baker, I think. Or am I? Or is there? I don't know. I don't know. When you're not 100% on Stanley Baxter, yes, know him purely from face. Scottish. No, that's Stanley Baker. Thanks. I'm getting my Stanley Baxter mixed up with Stanley Baker. I knew Stanley Baker died when he was young. I know he died. I've watched several of his films, but looking at Stanley Baxter's face, I recognise him 100%. I just wouldn't be able to name anything that he was in. Baxter enjoyed a decade-spanning career on radio, TV, and film, and was famous for impersonating famous people, including Queen. Queen Elizabeth. I'm reading The Guardian. Oh god, I've just counted a click towards The Guardian there. Yeah. No, I can't say where I would know him from, and yet I know his face 100%. So, probably says that he was on TV a lot in the 80s. Often wore a frock. According to that very short, the reason, you know, the reason why the Guardian, that article wasn't just about his life; it was about his LGBTQ or something. So I figured that if he wore a frock, then he might be homosexual. Homosexual. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that the Guardian just it didn't talk much about his career. The whole article in tribute was to do with something about gay and lesbian stuff. So, you know, make that what you will. Oh, he was also a great actor. Oh, it's like what the BFI did with the recently promoting the David Lynch season of films that are happening at the South Bank in January. We'll mark January the 19th. I think we lost David Lynch this year, so it will mark a year of being without the great director. But I had to laugh because the BFI were trying to make the season like it wouldn't be already, trying to make it appeal to the transgendered community. And I was thinking, they showed it, and to sum it up, it's Dean Stockwell. A screen grab from Blue Velvet, a candy-coloured clown they call the Sandman. And I thought, Jesus Christ, BFI, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just shoehorning that in there in like 2 paragraphs. It's like, oh, by the way, transgenders are welcome, because look, here's Dean Stockwell wearing makeup. It's the BFI. Come on, you guys. Anyway, I'm not going down that route because that's a whole dead area. Thank you, Julie Ash, for telling me that he did wear a frock. And Stanley Baker didn't wear a frock. No, Stanley Baxter. No, Stanley Baxter wore a frock. Stanley Baker shot a gun and killed some Zulus. And was in a great Michael Caine film. And was Welsh. He was Welsh. Was he Welsh? Was he English? Not Baker. Not Baxter. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Old School 4 said, had his own show, bit crap like Dick Emery. Oh, I do... No, was it? Oh, I do like you, but you are awful. That was never... My nan was a huge Dick Emery fan, and I do remember it being on TV in the 80s, but I've never gone back to Dick Emery stuff. I've gone back to Benny Hill stuff, not Dick Emery. Dave Allen, my dad was a huge Dave Allen fan. I grew up watching Dave Allen. I still think to this day I could listen to Dave Allen's voice and sitting in his chair with his cigarette and his whiskey, listen to his monologues. I mean, they're all on YouTube. You know, when you like one and you comment on one and you sort of like, you're just gonna, the algorithm just throws loads of Dave Allen at you, and that he's a genius. He's an absolute genius. I used to be a massive Jasper Carrot fan in the 80s. Not so much now when I go back to Jasper Carrot stuff, but I go back to Dave Allen stuff, and I think he was the bomb. Anyway, Baxter was gay. I think he came out in his autobiography, which was only released a few years ago, says Video Diva. Yeah, so there's obviously the connotations of that, and The Guardian are rolling with that moreover than his life story, but it was obviously a big part of his life, so, you know, go figure. Stan Baker, Welsh. Stanley Baxter, Scottish. Thank you, old school fool. Stanley Baker was Welsh. I remember having a conversation with my good friend Anarin from Abergavenny about Stanley Baker back in the days of university. Oh, you are awful. No, that's Alan. It's not that though, is it? It was something like, "Oh, you is it? Yeah, you. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. But I like you." It went a bit Duncan Novell at the end, didn't it? Chase me. Oh, you are awful. Yes. Hello, Honky Tonks. With his missing finger before before AI. Yes, he had one missing finger. How did Dave Allen lose the finger? Did he ever do a monologue about losing his finger? Don't think he did. Dave Allen in the drama One Day More. He was good in that. Wish he'd done more. So I haven't seen that Video Diva. Let me just message my WhatsApp self. It's called One Day More. I do take requests, not stuff to post on the channel. Wouldn't get away with that anyway, but for my own watching. Thank you, Video Diva. Alan says his uncle had a missing finger. And Ray says a pair of Celts. Ooh, chase me, chase me. One fine day. Funny, I just lost the tip of my finger the other night. Did you? Did you find it again? Or genuinely, did you chop your finger off? Chop the tip of your finger off, Alan? What were you doing? And did you get it put back on? That's the main thing. Which finger was it? Which thing was it? This little piggy on the right? Something like that. Freak accident. Mate, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I hope that you got it stitched back on. That's terrible. God, that's not what you want before Christmas. A&E. Definitely don't want to be anywhere near A&E. Because of that flu outbreak. Get your boosters. Get your boosters. Big Pharma's coming round the corner. Get your boosters in. Boost up to your eyeballs. Careful with mandolins and chainsaws too, says Osprey. My uncle had an extra finger. Oh my god, an extra finger. Scaramanga had an extra nipple, didn't he? I mean, it's probably more practical to have an extra finger than a nipple, especially if you're a man. I could see the pluses for a female if you have an extra nipple, but not a man. Extra finger for anyone is pretty handy. No pun intended. It's reduced to silly jokes now. It's because we started talking about Dave Allen. I mean, he was never joke man, was he? It was all about observations and monologues. Extremely funny. Witty, I think. Probably witty. Just extremely witty. All right, I'm 9 minutes away from calling it. It's a 2-hour stream, no more, no less. The fire is. I can't see the fire on the. Do you know? People, there is the little GoPro, by the way, in the bottom corner. That is live. Look, I can prove it. Watch. Hey, you can see me. It was really just to highlight the Venus de Milo. Yeah. Yeah, that's also so as I can see when I have to stick a log on the fire, but it's so friggin' hot in here. It's still 27 degrees in here, so I'm not putting another log on the fire. I'm going to let it drain out. But when I started the stream with that little camera up there, you could see the flames. It looked quite nice. And now it's still gushing out heat. Julie, yes, I know this chat does tend to get, especially when everyone's in. And now we've got Offspray Bird talking about careful with mandolins and chainsaws. I don't think have I seen you in here before? I don't think I have. So I'm glad you're here, Offspray Bird. Been here since the start as well. Hi ho Silver. Boone. Anyone else been watching Boone? Boone. I used to love Boone. Never gone back to it. Unlike Minder that I've gone back to time and time again. Unlike the Sweeney that I've gone back to time and time again. Unlike Lovejoy that I've gone back to time and time again. I loved Michael Elphick, especially as the poacher in Withnail and I, which I think is his finest role. I refrain from doing any quotes from Withnail and I simply because everyone does quotes from Withnail and I. But yeah, I used to like Boone as a kid, and I watched it a lot. And I did it because wasn't Neil Morrissey in that later on? He wasn't in it at the start, if I remember. He came into it quite like 2 or 3 series in, or maybe 1 series in. I'm not sure, but he wasn't there at the start. And I remember him. I remember his character. I'm trying to remember his name. It's on the back of my head. It's not Tony, because we all know who Tony is. Neil Morrissey's Tony. What was his name in Boone? I should know it. I haven't gone back to it, but I've got fond memories of watching it, and the theme tune is great. What have I been watching that's been... well, I can show you what I have. I bought this. Well, if anyone knows that I'm a little bit of a fan. But here we have... Monty Python's Flying Circus. All the television episodes restored to 1080p. As in 2019, I was saying at the beginning, Terry Gilliam was so impressed with Network DVDs, Blu-ray Network, the now defunct Network label, what they did to restore his animation in particular. A lot of the all of the outdoor sketches that Monty Python did were shot on film. So they've scanned the original negatives, and it looks the best I think I've ever seen a series from 1969 to look like. I didn't buy this new, but it is a wonderful box set. If anyone is interested, I think it's deleted now. Well, it's a network. This network, the company's gone, but they're selling it for stupid money on eBay. It's like 140 quid. I think it's still on Amazon for 150 quid or something. I'd never paid anywhere near that. If you're interested, there's another as of yesterday. I haven't checked today. CEX are offering this Norwegian box set of 1080p of the whole thing with everyone comes with a thick book like that. Is I've got the product thing stuck on it, but there's a book in every single DVD Blu-ray are selling £44 for the complete restored, painstakingly restored Monty Python's Flying Circus. And there you go. That is what I've been watching. I'm on episode 6 of series 1, and it's bloody fantastic. Gilliam's work looks absolutely amazing in HD. And then you get great sketches. Like, I couldn't believe... And I probably have not seen all of Monty Python. Like, I was obviously not born when Monty Python was on. I used to watch them on UK Gold. That's probably the last time that I watched them, and I thought I did video them on VHS when they were on UK Gold back in the early to mid 90s. Never bought the DVD. I did buy Parrot Sketch Not Included on DVD, and a couple of I bought all the films they did on DVD, but I haven't gone back to the series until now. It's probably 25 years since I've watched them. Masterpiece. Not every sketch is, I guess not every sketch. It has, because it's the Pythons. But there are just some sketches, and I'm talking about 5%. There's probably one sketch that's a little bit iffy in series 1 alone. It's just not, for me, it's just not quite up there. But nine times out of 10, 99.9% of the Blu-rays are masterpieces. I love Jim Diamond. Hi Jose, not funny though. Me, I love Michael as McGowan. I won't let you down. Vangelis maybe. A lot of good bits in the Python series. Slept on for all the usual. Slapped on for the usual famous stuff. I remember the song, but not sure who PhD were. Maybe it was a different guy. PhD, question mark PhD. Who's PhD? Paul. Yeah, I've just the sketch that I absolutely adore. One of my top 10 sketches is Eric Idle coming down from Barnsley to London to see his parents, and his dad goes off on him about why he thinks he's big, wearing he's an actor. He's a playwright. He's a playwright, and it's just a spin on that whole thing about mine. Like, Eric Idle's dressed up like an academic, but he's a miner in Barnsley, and his dad, who's dressed like a miner in Barnsley from that time, but is living in London, is a playwright. I mean, it's friggin' genius. I think that sketch it's definitely in my top 10 of Python sketches. It's one of the funniest. Oh, don't make him cry! You don't know what it's like. You wake up, you sit in front of the typewriter for 9 hours. Just one of those, just a top, and it's filled with it. And then, watching Michael Palin in 35mm negative. It was shot in 35mm negative, sort of like a minute and a half intro, almost drowning while swimming to the camera, and then coming up and just going, it's... But to see that in 35mm restored film is so filmic, and I think one of them was definitely Torquay. Definitely Torquay. I mean, if you're into location filming, and they did film some things down there. Obviously, Cleese had a love-hate relationship with Torquay back in the day. We all know where that led. What that led to. Ministry of City Walks. I haven't got to that yet. I think, Ray, that's series 2. Might be wrong. It is on. It does come up in one of the earlier sketches. It doesn't say Ministry of City Walks, but it says Ministry written on it, and it's sort of taking a mickey out of the Freemasons. So it's there. I haven't got to it yet. It might be in the first series. I haven't finished the first series yet. Selwyn Froggatt, the gaffer. I miss comedy. Julie, I miss comedy. When I sat there and watched all the 6 episodes of Monty Python, I was like, can we ever replicate something that unique and funny again? I haven't. I mean, I don't watch, modern comedies. There are comedians that I still like, and Will might have got it. If Will Franken has watched this stream, he will hate the fact I used AI. Good on you, Will. Stick by your guns, mate. It was my first and only foray, and it was specifically to do with vintage television. But yeah, he's very funny. Will Franken's very funny, and he can't get a fucking job. Excuse my language. He can't get a job for love nor money because people won't take the chance. And he is one of the only comedians, I think, still to this day, that can offer something original, borrowing from some of the greats like Peter Cook, Chris Morris. And he for the life of him can't get, because he's blacklisted. He's been blacklisted ever since he kicked those comedians in the teeth at the Comedy Unleashed. The guy can't get a job. He can't be on stage. And he did one of the funniest acts that I've seen in recent years when he was doing the Greta Thunberg stuff at the Comedy Unleashed, which is still on YouTube. From 2019, I think it was, where he's pretending Greta's a hand puppet. It's genius. It's genius. That's the kind of thing that really frustrates me, is that when you sort of stunt British comedy and you don't take chances, you end up with this like factory conveyor belt of crap just going through it, running through the mill, box ticking, diversity hires, excuse all this, but it begins to look the same. You're generating the same thing. And when somebody comes along that's unique, and Will's not new, I mean, Will Franken has been around for about 25, 30 years, and he made, he was a highly regarded comedian, stand-up comedian for as many years. Like, I think he did a gig with Robin Williams in San Francisco, things like that. I mean, he was around at that time, but yeah, just not giving him the chance. And it really pisses me off, because I sit there and I'm watching. I know Will's even talked about Monty Python, being a fan in the past, but I'm just upset that we don't get the opportunity, where they don't get the opportunity to really sort of like bring home something real good satire as well. A good satire. In the 90s, satire existed in America. I mean, Will is American. He was an American living in the UK now since I think 2015 or 16 or something. But in the 90s, I was having this conversation with a friend about, I don't know whether Curtis is still in here, but he came round and visited, and we watched Election, Alexander Payne's wonderful satire on the politics in a school with Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick. It's a phenomenal satirical comedy, absolutely hysterical. If you haven't seen Election, it's from like 1998, something like that. And I watched, and Alexander Payne did Sideways as well. He's an extremely talented director. But American cinema doesn't have satire in anymore. I mean, you had like in the 90s, you had a resurgence of satirical comedy. Go right to something as, remember a film called Dick? I love saying the film Dick. Dick. It's a satire on Nixon, and it stars Kirsten Dunst and Michelle Williams. It's a brilliant film from 1999. I think Alexander Payne produced it. Satire on the Watergate scandal. Ignore the fact it's got Will Ferrell in it playing, I think, Woodward or Bernstein, one of them. It's all right. I'm never a fan of Will Ferrell, but it's a wonderful. It's got the brilliant. What's he called? The great the actor playing Nixon. It's frigging awesome. What's he called? I've forgotten his name. Oh, Blood Simple. The actor from Blood Simple, the Coen Brothers' first film. Oh, friggin' hell. Forgotten his name. Anyway, he's wonderful. But again, satire on the Watergate scandal. And then you had the Spinal Tap guys, making Best in Show. And The Mighty Wind, which is hysterical. The Mighty Wind, a sort of mockumentary on the folk music. Wonderful. Mickey and Maud. There was some great. America finally were doing satire again in the 90s, but it's all gone again now. And it's like, anyway, we've gone into cinema. Let's Let's just say that there are people out there that are satirists that can't get a job at the moment. I wear glasses too. I got prescription glasses now when I'm driving at night. I find it easier to put them on and wear when the headlights. But it's the LEDs in modern headlights. They need somebody needs to do something about it. They are literally like, I feel like a deer in the headlights around these country lanes in the Midlands some nights. You know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you're driving back in your 35-year-old Peugeot 205 that's just today. All the zeros went dun 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 dun, dun 180,000 miles on the clock of my 1.1 Peugeot 205. Although it's like that, the zeros. I'm hoping they're gonna pop up, because it's sort of like this one. The last one has gone up like 3 now. I think it's like 180,003 miles, but the other zeros are still desperately trying to come level. I'm hoping. I don't want it like that. I want it to be able to see it. So, what was I saying? Yeah, get your LEDs sorted on all your smart vehicles, for Christ's sake. I don't want to be a deer. I don't want to crash into a hedge because I can't see where I'm going. I might find my hard drive out and watch Monty Python as well. Been ages since I've seen them. I've just watched Stuff, and that's an hour I've never getting back. I've just watched Stuffed. I could have watched 2 old sitcoms. What's Stuffed, Video Diva? Is it not very good? What's Stuffed? I don't know what that is. Same as Christmas. So many non-British, it's not the same. Election is a fantastic film. Love it. I love it. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? It's such a great film. I think a great double bill with Election is Wes Anderson's 1999 film Rushmore with Jason Schwartzman. I think the two are in the same universe. Election is by far the funniest, but there's a very funny montage sequence with Bill Murray and Jason Schwartzman in Rushmore. But yeah, I that period where they were making, I mean, Wes Anderson, I was a huge Wes Anderson fan. Not for the last 15 years though. Moonlight Kingdom was quite good. I've had this conversation with some of my friends, my cinema friends, and I think most of us agree that it feels like enough already. It's just enough already. Poor Thomas Anderson can do it because he's dealing with drama, but when you're dealing with the style over substance, like Wes Anderson sometimes falls into, there's not much else to keep you going other than the Wes Andersonisms, and there's too many Wes Andersonisms. In people started stealing the isms from his films, and now everything looks like a friggin' Wes Anderson film. Nobody can do that with poor Thomas Anderson. It's ironic that they have the same surname, but that's where all similarities end. Stuffed is an awful BBC 1-hour comedy for Christmas. Oh God, you try a modern day Oh, well done, Video Diva. Well done. Somebody's got to sit through it just to forewarn people away from it. I mean, you probably had in the back of your head, you're probably like, why am I going to watch this? It's not going to be that great, is it? And then you're disappointed. It's like, I always reference Bill Bailey, the Bill Bailey, when he says, like, being English, we crave disappointment. That's why we love Kinder Eggs. You know, really, really nice chocolate, shit toy. And I think that sums up pretty much of what the BBC output is. Oh dear. Anyone seen the Rampage trilogy? They are okay for modern films. I haven't seen that. Not sure what that one is. Alan, Rampage trilogy. Oh, Rampage. I'm thinking of the 1986 coin-op arcade game Rampage, which is a rip-off of Double Dragon. Of something, if I remember right. Definitely don't know. I don't think they've turned a 1980s video game into a TV series or a film. Maybe they have. Maybe they're that desperate. Modern day equals shite. Luckily enough, I'm a BBC licensed non-payer and don't watch the BBC anymore. I've got to watch. I've got to watch like what you say, because I don't want to attract anyone here to this channel. I'm sort of tiptoe through the tulips with any of the corporation people, because I really do hope that I can keep the channel going. If it goes, it goes. Still have odd haunts. It goes. It's gone before, and I've had to scramp to get it back. So as soon as I hit 20,000 subscribers, I was thinking, bloody hell, the expectations now. But anyway, but it didn't used to be like that. Christmas on BBC, you'd have Christmas specials galore. The problem is they don't make the output of comedies to make the specials anymore. I did go through earlier in the stream, Video Diva. I've got a Radio Times. Somebody's compiled a radio. I think it's called Radio TV Times 1975. You can go online and watch it. And read it. It's a PDF. Hannah was the person who compiled it, and it's wonderful to scroll through Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day of the listings, and you see everything. The iconic mid-70s sort of shows. Les Dawson's there. Morecambe and Wise are there. Yeah. Oh, there's in that AI thing. Do you know my favourite? Let me go back to it quickly. I have to copy this. I just want to show you my... Hello. There we go. I just want to show you my favourite... I don't think I didn't keep it... Oh, for God's sake. How do I copy that? Copy? It won't let me copy it. Oh, it's the Terry Wogan. It's the Terry Wogan image. There's on Getty Photos. You have to get rid of the logo, by the way. That's where that took me a lot of time. You get rid of the logo, otherwise AI doesn't recognize it, and it keeps the words in there. And I don't want their logo, so I sort of got rid of the thing in Photoshop, which took forever to do that. But it's Terry Wogan, and it was just him in like it looks like a broom cupboard of the BBC. And he wasn't. I don't think he was eating. No, he wasn't eating a Christmas pudding. He had the Christmas pudding in front of him, and he was like that, sniffing it, going. And then I sort of said, have him keep his expression, but eat a spoonful of the Christmas pudding. And I did it. And it looks really good. It still looked like Terry Wogan when he opened his mouth to put the spoon in. It was really good. It was one of those ones that there's a lot of movement in the face, but I felt that it retained a Wogan-esque kind of feel to it. That was my favourite clip. Oh, and the fact that somebody also told me that Olive never looked that sexy from On the Buses. I disagree. I think I've kept that one on my desk, on my laptop, the Olive one where she sort of like waves and smiles at the camera. If it carried on and her head did turn, it did sort of lose it. She sort of suddenly turned into a 30-year-old glamour sort of model from the 60s. But I think she was quite attractive. I think the actress playing Olive, they completely uglified her. Or made her look gawky and geeky and stuff, but there was nothing wrong with her at all. Not that I. Will the Major's cat get castrated by the BBC vets? Tune in next week, or not, to find out. Yes, I'm worried about that, Ray. Major Dolby's cat is forcibly removed. Right, I'm going. I've already gone on for 15 minutes longer than I planned. Thank you to a wonderful year on Major Dolby's Cat. Exceeded subscribers. I was never in it for the subscribers, but to John Halifax, gentlemen, The Long Goodbye. Sorry, not The Long Goodbye. The Long Chase. Robert Altman, Jan Francis. Got to have a system. The Long Chase. What else has been a big hit this year? In fact, let me just quickly see the biggest. YouTube sent me loads of stats the other day, so I love my stats in here. Analytics. Oh dear, wow. Yeah, 274% more views than usual. Number one. This is my top 10 content. If you're interested, top 10 content. You're watching this stream, well done. You've got through 2 hours 15 minutes of waffle. Number one, in the number one spot. We're going to start at number one. Do the top five. Number one. You'll all be happy to know that Jan is in there at number one with Village Hall, The Rough and the Smooth, 1975. That to this day. Which was uploaded, 3 years ago? Something like that. To this day, in the last month, has had 18,125 views. In the last month. Second, Jan's in there again. Country Matters, The Four Beauties by H.E. Bates. 14,465 views this month. This month. Again, uploaded 3 years ago. Number three. Surprise, not a surprise. John Halifax, Gentleman. Episode 1. That is still generating 9,554 views every single month. Episode 1. And on the strength of that series, people are watching the rest of the episodes. And I can see why, because it is one of the... Dial M for Murder. A sort of semi-popular. Certain ones come in to sort of the top 5 and certain ones don't. Certain episodes. I think the one that's coming in the next 2 days is a big one. Big cast, big budget on this one, all shot in Spain on location. There are some studio shots in the BBC, no doubt, but most of it's in Spain. Good story. They're a mixed bag. I agree, but they're... popular. Number 4, that one in particular, that episode is Both Hands Free, which was the most recent one, which is the classic. Didn't break the mold of the Who Done It, but still thoroughly enjoyable episode from that series. Episode 5. Number 5 is episode 1 of World's End. So people are still, even though the views for it aren't that great, as I started this stream talking about World's End, I'm probably not going to end talking about it because I don't think it warrants an end. It warranted the start, not the end. But that's in at number 5. Should anyone answer, Dial M for Murder at number 6 with George Cole. Rooms, Muriel and Sally. Probably the last one that I uploaded is number 7. Ironically, isn't it number 7, part 1, but part 2 isn't in the top 10. So people have been watching the first one and choosing not to watch the second one. Armchair Theatre Office Party, number 8. Again, something that was uploaded a year ago now. John Halifax, episode 2, is at number 9. And that's great because you'll begin to see that the replays of all the episodes, when people watch the first episode, people go to the second episode, and proof because it's in the top 10 still. And number 10, still to this day, is my compilation that I did that started the popularity of this channel off, Punk Rock TV, my favourite Dennis Pennis moments. I love the 90s. That's where I gained, I think, in the region of 5,000 subscribers. My channel went from 50 to 5,000 overnight back in 2020 when I uploaded that. So there you go, top 10. Any surprises and shocks in there for you guys? John Halifax, Gentleman. That's probably the series of the year on my channel. In terms of just people talking about it and interactions, it was wonderful to read the comments. Anna Karen was a top model back in the day, says Old School 4. Was she? Yeah, see, they just made her, they just uglified her, or geekified her. It's not ugly, it's geekified. Cheers, brother. I'll shout you over Christmas. Lots of love. All have a nice... Yeah, see, I did say I was going. Right, I am going. Thank you for staying with me this long. I'm closing down. We've reached the end of the transmission. I would just like to say thank you for your support throughout the year. I've enjoyed talking to some of you with the comments. Obviously, some of you that I've enjoyed my own personal time with, on Discord or on WhatsApp. You know who you are. You've made a huge difference to my year, and I'm proud to call you a friend. So thanks for all your support, and who knows, maybe this format will come back again in the not so distant future. Not every week, but in the not so distant future. And I certainly enjoy talking to you guys, and I will say I wish everyone a happy Christmas. I look forward to your comments in the comment section on a pin to see the peep show starting on Christmas Eve. There will be a Christmas Day upload special around the time the King makes his speech. It's 38 seconds short. I think it's apt. Don't watch the King, just watch the 38 seconds. I guarantee it's something with Rowan Atkinson in that you've not seen before. So if you like Rowan Atkinson, don't watch The King. Just 3 o'clock on Christmas Day. I think it's scheduled to upload to my shorts. It's rather amusing. It's very Mr. Bean-like in a way, but it was from 1986. So, and I can't find it anywhere on the socials. So it might be it was from somebody's home recording, I believe. I did see it. I did find it on Daily Motion a few years back, but I can't find it now. But anyway, it turned up there. Right. Happy Christmas. I would say I shouldn't really say it because I'll say Happy Christmas again. But there is an ending, and it was something that I saw on the awful social media TikTok. There are some things that I enjoy on there, and this was one of them. So have a great rest of this weekend, and if I don't speak to you all before, have a lovely Christmas. Thanks for watching the stream, and I will make sure the end plays. Good night, everybody.